Missing, lost, trafficked, investigations. I'm Pebbles, executive
You see
news
what I'm saying?
producer, creator,
Everything
and
should start here in
writer.
the airways about August 11th.
We're looking everywhere, in bushes, in ditches, in roads, everywhere. We've even gotten shot at looking.
Thing I can think about is my child's out there somewhere.
The mother's house, by the mother's house, is where they're protected.
Hard night tonight. I can't sleep. Had so many things going through my head.
Vanished at the River Loon. The disappearance of Daniel Hives. On the night of the 10th of December 2022, 28-year-old Daniel Hives vanished after leaving a flat in Lancaster near the River Loon. His family, notably his brother Robbie, and his friends, immediately mounted a search, posting missing person posters around the... Daniel Hives was tall, standing at around 6 feet. He is a slim man with brown hair, originally from Coventry. He moved to Preston a few years before his disappearance and had built a life there. Daniel was a loving father to a young son, whom his uncle Robbie calls the beautiful little lad, on a fundraising page set up to try and find answers about what happened that night. Daniel was known affectionately as Gringo among friends.
I'm speaking on behalf of all Dan's loved ones. I'd like to start by saying our world without Dan in them for the last 12 weeks have been dark and empty places, as we are missing Dan's beautiful light and soul to brighten them. We have lived in nothing short of a nightmare. Tomorrow, Dan has been missing 12 weeks and has been gone since the 10th of December. It is an extremely concerning amount of time for a person to be missing. We have made little to no progress in the direction of bringing him home. Therefore, today we have decided to gather as many people as possible to do a public search for Dan. We need to bring our boy home. The police, although we're sure are making progress behind the scenes, are not making anywhere near as much public efforts as we would like, or as they would do with other missing persons cases. Much more needs to be done, and Dan's face needs to be nationwide. We would like to make it clear that if you have any information about Dan's disappearance, no matter how small you think it may be, it needs to be brought to the police's attention. We wholly understand people may have fears regarding this, but please be rest assured this can be done totally anonymously to maintain public safety, and that is of paramount importance. And finally, Dan, our boy, we miss you. Wherever you are, we will find you. That is a promise, and we won't rest until we do. You are so loved, more than you could ever know. Our worlds have been torn apart without you here. We need you home. We will love you and look for you forever.
Surveillance cameras spotted Daniel on the evening of the 10th as he was leaving an address on Sidings Close in Lancaster. This is an image of the footage that captured Daniel, and he is described as having short brown hair, being around 6 foot tall with a slim build, and he has links to Preston. And at the time of him going missing, he was wearing a blue Hugo Boss tracksuit with black Nike trainers. It feels important to note that it hasn't been revealed whose property he was visiting, but it's plausible that that's because it has no relevance to his disappearance. The area where he vanished, including the river, have been extensively searched, but as of yet, nothing has been found that helps in locating Daniel. Police are still appealing for any information that may help in their investigation. So if you were in this area at around 9:30 p.m. on the 10th of December and you think you may have seen Daniel, please contact Lancashire authorities.
Today, friends of Dan Hives, who went missing on December the 10th, 2022, was last seen on that evening leaving an address at City View, Sidings Close in Lancaster. Friends are gathering to try and help with the search for him. Dan's been missing for nearly 3 months. Today, as you'll see behind me, friends of Dan have set up a table with his photograph. They're wearing t-shirts, there are flyers and photos being given out in an attempt to raise awareness. If anybody has seen Dan or has any information about where he might be, please contact police on 101, quoting log 0250 of December the 12th, 2022.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I do believe I have the brother of Daniel Hive joining me right now. I see his face, and I'm going to go ahead and add him to this stream. Okay, so you all just be patient with me. Give me just a moment, and we will connect with each other. Okay, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Great. I thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule on its evening where you are. It is a little later, I would say almost 6 o'clock p.m. where I am. And so I do thank you so very much. I know it's nearly midnight. Is that correct where you are?
Yeah. Yeah. Nearly midnight. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thank you so very much for taking time out to just join this stream and discuss your brother's disappearance. I know that his disappearance has taken an emotional toll on you from all of the posts that I've read posted on social media and news clippings, news articles that I've been reading. And so before we began discussing the last time you spoke with him, if you would just like to share any interesting things we should know about what your brother, just things that he's interested in doing, the type of person he is, we're all ears.
Yeah. So he was just a wild kind of person. You know what I mean? He was always the unexpected type. You know, never know what he was gonna do, but it always work out in the end, and that's why this has been so even more hard. You know, because it's always worked out for him in the end. You know what I mean? And it doesn't seem real that it hasn't. You know what I mean?
I
Uh,
understand. Yeah. I
yeah,
have a
yeah,
brother and siblings as well. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, he loved to freaking. He was always an outdoor person. You know, he loved the outdoors. You
Mhm.
know, want one for walking behind. It would
Okay.
always be like a bike or in a taxi going somewhere, or it'd always be out. It would never be like a herd type, you know. But yeah, he was a proper fun-loving, straightforward person. You know, what you see was what you got. Yeah, like
Mhm.
no, there was no question in him. You know, definitely not.
Thank you for sharing that. He seemed to be, from what I'm hearing from you, a very outgoing person and someone who enjoyed being outdoors, outdoorsy a sort of person. And so that's rather interesting, very, very interesting. I thank you for sharing that. Now, I'm just looking at my notes here, and I want to make sure everyone knows who you are before we began further discussing. We are speaking with Robbie. Is it Robbie Hives? Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, yeah,
And he is the brother. He is the brother of Daniel Hives. Daniel Hives was last seen near Lancaster about December 10th. Is that date correct?
yes, the December 10th. Yeah, about
Okay.
it was about 9:30 is the last sighting of him on CCTV at an address. I believe it was on Sidings Close. Uh,
Okay.
and then
Sightings,
yeah, it
which
was
is
I think it was City View Sidings Close. It was his last seen footage. Uh,
okay. And I did do a little bit of research. It looks like it was City View Sightings, which is either an apartment building or near an apartment building. Would that be
yeah,
correct in terms of the area?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Because I looked it up on Google. I did some Google mapping. I know that this apartment building, City View Sightings, it's about an 8-minute drive to Riverloon and about maybe a 13-minute walk. I did learn that he was last seen walking. Is that correct?
Yes, as
A
far as
13-minute, okay, walk to Riverloon. And so I found that to be rather interesting. So I would like to know, do you know if anyone encountered uh, Mr. Hives? Anyone seen him, had a conversation with him either in City View or along the river walk, the Riverloon area?
so there has been no leads of anybody coming across him. We did have a couple of people obviously saying that they did. Later found out it was other people from the police, and it wasn't obviously Daniel. So from that last sight on CCTV, as far as we're aware, there has been no sign whatsoever. It's like it's vanished in it.
Okay, so no sightings, unfortunately. I did also read that there was an intense search carried out by law enforcement, dogs, drones, as well as marine, land, and search teams. They were deployed to look for your brother. Are you aware of the areas perhaps he was searched in? Were you
So
given that information?
I do know that the Riverloon was searched near the Millennium Bridge. I couldn't tell you exactly, obviously, how much of that river was searched. I would assume as much as they seemed necessary, you know. I do know that there was a search conducted. It was Morecambe Beach, I believe, but again, nothing come up. You know, I think they were just trying to, you know, run possibilities. And yeah, it's honestly, it's like living in a movie. You know, it's not real. It's very strange. Like it's a lot of things are going to dead ends, and then something that is leading to something veers to a dead end. You know,
Mm.
it never seems to be that we're getting these solid leads and getting closer and closer. You know, it seems like we're at a rut at the moment. You know, a bit stuck. So we are pleading for as much help as humanly possible. Obviously, that knows anything. You know, we're trying to get searched. You know, just research places. You never know. So it's just we're just constantly going of everything that we can possibly do. You know, so we're currently trying to arrange a very big search. Obviously, we are in the planning. You know, it's a very big thing because we do want to stuff like that, but we do hope to obviously be doing another good search soon. So.
Okay. Um, Thank you for sharing that. It sounds as if you are have approached somewhat of a dead end, and that's in terms of searching for him and not getting the type of information that you would really desire to have at this point. Are you aware at all? And this could be helpful. Who he may have gone to see. I did read a post stating that he perhaps went to see a friend in that area, the area he was last seen in.
It is. It has been rumored, yeah, that he could have possibly gone to see a friend, and that's where he's heading. Obviously, when he left those flats. But again, like I say, they're rumors, and that is the hard thing about it's nothing ever seems to be solid. We're getting a lot of things that could go somewhere, but don't seem to be going anywhere. It just keeps drawing a blank. So it is just constantly everything we get. Obviously we get things every single day. You can imagine the amount of stuff that goes through people's minds. And you never know what could come up. So any possible thing of people going, oh, I think I may have seen him, we follow it up straight away. We contact the police, just in case, because you never know, do you? So
Yeah. And I know this has to be a very, very difficult time for you. And um, I can only imagine. I have not been in this situation. I can only imagine, how you're feeling at this moment. This question may be a bit difficult to just process, but I think this is important to maybe ponder upon. And so, could you recall any sort of conflicts of any sort that your brother may have had with anyone days or even months leading up to his disappearance?
so I lost contact with Dan, I would say, about a year, 2 years before, maybe. Because obviously just life got busy. Obviously I was working, he was working. We lived in different cities, so we just ended up losing contact in the end. So I sadly couldn't answer that question from my own point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been told from friends that, as far as they're aware, people who were around him so close to his appearance, that were around him, I have been told that they're not aware of any conflict or anything that they could link, possibly, or even if it slightly could link, they keep drawing blanks as well. So it's just everything seems to be drawing a blank, and it will one day. Don't get me wrong, we will find something that actually does us go somewhere, and we will find him 100%. Obviously we will, and if we don't, we won't stop. So yeah.
Okay. And certainly it's important to stay vigilant and just never give up, because you never really know what's happening in a situation like this. I've reported on numerous individuals who were reported missing, and perhaps family members and friends, or spectators may have, been thinking the outcome could be negative or not so good. And those people have shown up. And so I just want to give you a bit of hope. I've reported on numerous adults who have gone missing for some reason or another. Every case is slightly different scenario, and they have shown up weeks later, months later, some maybe even a year later, have shown up, and there have been personal reasons regarding why these individuals have gone missing. But I just want to give you a bit of hope there, that there could be a light at the end of the tunnel, for you and for Daniel, for his friends. And with that being said, is there perhaps he's watching, or someone who knows what has happened, what has transpired regarding his disappearance is watching right now, what would you like to say? What's on your mind to Daniel or anyone who may have information regarding his disappearance?
Just to let somebody know, even if you want to stay anonymous, that's fine. There are ways of contacting the police anonymously. You can email them anonymously. Obviously, I believe you can do it anonymously over the phone, but obviously they do track numbers, so people are still skeptical about that. But yeah, there are ways of staying out of there and not being known. So just anything could help. Even if you think you've seen him at the local corner shop last week, well, it can help. So it is just hard without that. I don't know. Yeah, it is just anything. Even if you think he may have texted you off a fake account, run it by us. We'll check it out. So no matter what, if we think it's right or not, it's still gonna get into the right hands, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it needs to get to those hands first, at least.
Yes.
So
how can you be contacted by anyone who may have spoken to Daniel, who may have seen him, or you just have information regarding what has happened to him?
So anybody can contact me through Facebook. My messages are always open. So obviously, if you're not friends with me, just send me a message request. I check them every day, so it will never get missed. I do have an Instagram account. Let me check that name for you. 2 seconds. That is all lowercase Robbie _6905. So if anybody wants to message me on Instagram, that's perfectly fine too. That's always open. So they're the main two I'm always on. So that'd be the best way.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. And feel free to post a comment with the information that you shared with me. I do believe that the viewership will grow after I end this live stream, meaning that there will be a lot of people watching this live stream who were, not here during the time we've been having our discussion, but they will join later and want to hear from you and want to see your contact information. So if you would like to, after we end our discussion, just go into the comments on Facebook or on YouTube, because we're streaming live on YouTube right now from Missing Lost in Trafficking YouTube channel. Feel free to post that information regarding how you can be contacted. I know that there is a Facebook group as well. We've been speaking. It's pretty late where you are, and so I want to be considerate of that. Is it after midnight there where you are now?
Yes, 7 minutes.
Yeah. So it's pretty late where you are, and so I'm conscious of that. I know that you've had a busy day. We've been in communication off and on, and so I don't want to carry on too long. Yes. But I do want to give you an opportunity to share anything else that you would like to share at this time before we conclude this conversation we've been having.
So it is just we just want as much help and support as we can get. We really needs these people to speak up, you know, and not stay silent anymore. Even if these people you may think people are dangerous, again, there are ways to do it anonymously. So, you know, again, contact me. I send links to how people can do it, email anonymously, because obviously I know how to do it. There's just so many ways you can speak up now without having to give your identity, without having to give your name, you know. So please, just anything you got, you know, please send anything, you know. And if you are out there, mate, just let us know you're safe. You know, it may sound mad, but I don't care where you are, as long as you're all right. You know, that's fine with me. So just let us know.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I thank all of the viewers out there who are watching, who are sharing, all over the United Kingdom, all over the United States, or wherever you are in the world. I thank you all so very much. I thank you so very much, Mr. Robbie, for taking time out of your busy evening to discuss your brother's disappearance. I certainly hope that he is found sooner rather than later. And I hope that you get the answers that you need. And with that being said, I would like for you to have a beautiful night.
Yes, and have a lovely evening yourself.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. And bye-bye to everyone else out there, wherever you are. Don't forget to share, and share this live stream once again. Thank you.
Do you believe your family member, friend, or even your child is in danger, may have been abducted, or even trafficked? Reach out to Missing, Lost, Traffic Investigations and share your story with us. Pebbles, Executive News Producer, signing out.